I've been really looking forward to this all day. Anyway, let's start off. A big round of applause for Mr. and Mrs. Waters. Well, at long last, here we all are. The big day has finally arrived.
About time.
Once again, on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Waters, I'd like to thank you all for coming this evening. Even those of you that they didn't really want to invite, but felt that they had to. Steve said to me earlier that he hopes these unwanted guests brought them decent presents. You know who you are. By the way, yeah, I'd like to thank Steve and Tash for the wallet they got me just a minute ago. I've always said you can never have too many wallets. No, honestly, thank you. I did that for a wee fitboard, but you know, that'll do. And I'd like to thank Paul. Paul Pope, is he here? For lending us the Mercedes. Hopefully it'll be alright tomorrow, considering we crashed the arse off of it earlier. And it handbrake turns wonderfully. Anyway, right, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mark. To some of you, I'm simply the ultimate warrior. Or that bloke that was cheated into third place at Buckmore Park, when everyone knew I should have won. Incidentally, Steve won that fair and square. As some of you may know, Steve and Tash, up until 4 months ago, weren't even getting married in this country.
No.
But then Steve realised how much money he would actually save. So, he decided to have it here, followed by a honeymoon in North Wales. At least I think that's where he said they were going. He just said he was going to bang her for a week. Anyway, as I'm sure you all agree, Tash looks wonderful in her wedding dress, and any man would be proud to be able to call her his wife. She has put a lot of hard work and money into today, as it certainly reflects with what you see. What a lot of you don't know is that her credit card got stolen at the beginning of the week. But Steve has decided not to report it because whoever stole it is a lot less than what she is. Now. Hello? Now. Enough of the pleasantries. If your attention may be drawn to the groom, he's standing over here, by the way. Whereas Tash looks stunning, Steve, on the other hand, not so good. You may be thinking, like myself, that he may have gone on a diet, or done a bit of exercise leading up to the big day. But, as usual, and quite rightly so, he's not really bothered about his appearance. We did actually have to go to the big and tall shop to get our suits, and I thought they were pretty good. Right, first things first, and quite importantly I feel, I'd just like to tell everyone that the buffet opens at 8:30. The reason I'm telling everyone this is because over the years, when we've been to a barbecue, or somewhere where there's a buffet, or just generally food laying about, Steve has always been first there. And he always comes away with a plate resembling a small Mount Everest. I've always had a little dig at him about this. So tonight, as he is paying for it, and if no one else here objects, if I hold him down, can we try and eat it all before he gets a chance to get up there? And make sure we eat the expensive things first, for Christ's sake.
He's a gooner, isn't he?
When Steve asked me to be his best man, as with all best men, the first thing that goes through your head is not the honour of being the best man, or the honour of playing such a special part in their big day, but the speech. I've got to write a speech and I've got to make it funny, with stories of stupid things that Steve has done in his almost 29 years on this planet. Most folks would worry about this, but not me. Steve is very good material. I had so much written down that a lot of it I had to edit. Some I had to throw away and some I even had to burn. There was also some that I had to hand over to the police. The police out with the but I'm confident that what's left is pretty good. Now, I could have started by enlightening everybody here about the not so law-abiding or naughtier things that Steve has done in his life. For example, things to do with boat engines. Or the several times I've had to pray to God whilst being a passenger in his car. Or the games of chase we used to have with the police. Or even Steve being responsible for me being on report almost every week at school due to lack of attendance. But I didn't really want to mention any of these because I didn't want to ruin the halo that Steve's got around his head in the eyes of his poor mum. Where is she? There's Oi. Hello, Oi. Anyway, moving on. I've known Steve for over 20 years, and I admit we haven't always seen eye to eye, mainly due to the fact that he's only 5'2", and I am, in comparison, a very masculine 6'4". But in that time, I reckon I've pretty much sussed him out. You've probably all heard the saying, never judge a book by its cover. Well, Steve is exactly the opposite to that. There are no hidden depths, no exciting secrets or anything of interesting substance. He does exactly what it says on the tin. In fact, I once overheard someone describe him as boring, predictable, unadventurous and lacking where it counts. But she obviously changed her mind because she's just agreed to be his wife. Actually, how could you? Personally, I would sum him up in the following 3 words. In their abbreviated form would be OCD. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, it means obsessive compulsive disorder, and basically it means that Steve is a complete mentalist. The disorder itself is mainly characterised by excessive worries, doubts and superstitious beliefs. Now, he worries all the time, doubts everything that he does and has many superstitions. For example, we are both Arsenal fans. And I admit, at times, they make you want to pull your hair out. But when I watch them, I manage to do it in a dignified, well-behaved, unbiased manner, of which all my friends will surely agree. Steve, on the other hand, has some very strange pre-, during and post-match rituals that I can only put down to this disease of his. Firstly, before the game, he has to kiss and touch all 4 walls in the room. No. I do not recommend this while watching it in the pub. Secondly, he must never watch the beginning or end of a game. Thirdly, if there's a penalty, God help us if there is a penalty, he would have to spin round 3 times, touch his left big toe twice, blink his eyes 8 times, culminating in watching the penalty with his back to the screen, bending over looking to the TV through his legs. Good God. They say OCD affects 1 in 50 people, so there are probably 2 more of you in here who do exactly the same thing. Moving away from football, another example of this horrible affliction of his is his constant need to make everything clean and tidy, as well as regimented. Apparently, the first night of the stag do, where he got completely wasted, he came back to his room at 3 or 4 in the morning and made his roommate's bed for him, with impeccably sharp and tidy folds, as well as laying out all their washing gear in the toilet according to shape, size and colour.
Did you, Steve?
That's Dave told me that. If you go to his house, which most of us have been to there, and look in the kitchen cupboards, everything. You'll find the kitchen cupboards categorised alphabetically, cross-referenced by date and colour. His CD collection is arranged by the year that the album or song was released, starting from the earliest at the top. His car, which is by far the one thing that gets his OCD treatment the most, gets its wheels removed weekly and cleaned inside out with Tash's toothbrush. He drives it obsessed by the miles per gallon display, and I think it's even been seen that he gets his tape measure out when parking it. He got the tape measure out earlier when I was parking the Mercedes, so I could go on all night, but quite frankly, there's only so much OCD one can take. Right, I feel there is one story that I feel absolutely compelled to tell, that when we were kids. I think he knows which one.